Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we are putting a ridiculously viral piece of beauty tech right under the microscope. If you've scrolled through literally any social media timeline recently, you've almost certainly seen the Shark CryoGlow. You know the one. It's that futuristic glowing mask popping up in all those morning routines and influencer wind-down videos. But whenever a device is touted as this ultimate miracle worker for anti-aging, blemish repair, and under-eye depuffing all at once, we really have to stop and ask, what's the actual reality behind all the slick marketing? In this explainer, we're going to strip away the social media filters completely. We'll be relying strictly on verified reviews, real-world user data from beauty forums, and official government safety databases to figure out exactly what this device is, how it actually performs, and whether it's truly safe. Here is our roadmap for today. First, we'll look at the broader LED mask craze. Next, a look inside the Shark CryoGlow's tech, followed by real results and annoyances. Then, we'll navigate safety and FDA clearance. And finally, we'll give you the final verdict. Let's dive into this. Section 1. The LED mask craze. Tried and true versus the viral newcomer. To really get what the Shark CryoGlow is trying to do, we have to understand the market it's disrupting. Now, while strapping a glowing plastic mask to your face might feel totally sci-fi, the tech isn't actually some modern TikTok invention. Red light therapy is backed by solid scientific research going all the way back to the 1990s. It has proven studies supporting its use in skin rejuvenation and wound healing. Because the science is real, the market has absolutely exploded, and that explosion has sparked a massive debate among consumers right now. People are basically weighing two main options. On one side, you've got the current industry gold standard, the Dr. Dennis Gross Faceware Pro. It's the dermatologist's favorite, it's tried and true, very lightweight. On the flip side, you have the Shark CryoGlow. It's the viral newcomer bringing a totally fresh under-eye cooling feature to the table, but it's also incredibly heavily marketed. So it's this classic battle, right? Established credibility versus exciting new features. Section 2. Inside the Shark CryoGlow, breaking down the tech. So let's look past those pretty glowing lights and break down the actual hardware you get straight out of the box. Looking at the hard numbers, at a price point of £299.99, the CryoGlow sits pretty firmly in the middle of the market. It's definitely more expensive than your basic entry-level masks, but it's significantly cheaper than premium clinical-grade models. It packs 160 LEDs, which gives you really solid facial coverage. But I want you to look at that last row for a second, the weight. It comes in at a really hefty 537 grams because of its thick plastic build. That's over half a kilo. As we'll see in just a moment, that weight becomes a pretty major factor in the day-to-day user experience. Now, those 160 LEDs are put to work through three really specific pre-programmed routines. Step 1 is better aging, which is a 6-minute blast of red and near-infrared light meant for collagen production. Step 2 is blemish repair. This one is an 8-minute cycle that actually starts with blue light to tackle acne-causing bacteria and then switches to red light to calm down the inflammation. Finally, step 3 is skin sustain, just a quick 4-minute maintenance mode that uses all the lights at once. It's totally designed to be foolproof, taking all the guesswork out of figuring out which light wavelength you're supposed to use. Section 3. Real results and annoyances. The user experience. We all know impressive tech specs don't always mean you'll have a flawless daily routine, right? So to see how this thing actually holds up in real life, we're pulling from a super thorough review by The Guardian, where the writer tested this exact mask over 100 times across 2 years. First up, the good news. The clinical claims, they actually hold up in practice. The reviewer found the blemish repair mode incredibly effective. They noted that combining the blue and red light drastically minimized their daily breakouts and really sped up healing time. Plus, that unique under-eye cooling feature, which runs on electric Peltier coolers, provided some serious, genuine relief. It was apparently amazing for soothing puffy eyes during hay fever season. And unlike those flimsy silicone masks, the hard plastic shell was super durable over hundreds of uses. But here is where reality kind of crashes into that serene, spa-like aesthetic we see all over social media. The Guardian reviewer highlighted some pretty severe usability quirks. Because the mask weighs over half a kilo, it literally digs into the delicate skin around your eyes, making it practically impossible to comfortably lie down while you're doing a treatment. On top of that, those fancy cooling pads require internal fans to keep them running. This creates a constant, loud whirring sound right next to your ears. So what's supposed to be a relaxing wind-down routine suddenly transforms into a noisy, distracting chore. And those little cooling fans bring us directly to this number right here, 7. If you use the mask purely for the LED light therapy, the battery will last for a very respectable 17 treatments. But the second you turn on those much-hyped under-eye coolers, the battery life plummets to just 7 treatments before it completely dies. It is a massive power drain, and it absolutely forces you to charge the device way more frequently than most of its competitors.
Section 4. Safety and FDA Clearance. Navigating the Complexities.
Okay, so poor battery life and loud fans are definitely annoying, but our next topic is absolutely critical. We have to remember that these devices are shining powerful lights directly into your skin and your eyes. Because of that, consumers, especially in deep dive communities like Reddit, are rightfully demanding real transparency and hard safety data. Let's define exactly what these savvy buyers are looking for. FDA 510K clearance. This is a formal evaluation by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. When a device actually has this clearance, it means the FDA has looked at the data and officially deemed the device safe and effective for whatever it claims to do, like reducing wrinkles. For a lot of people, this clearance is the dividing line between a legitimate medical-grade device and a cheap, potentially unsafe knockoff.
So the big question is, how do these top brands handle inquiries about their safety clearance? Well, in a really detailed Reddit investigation led by a regulatory affairs professional, brand transparency became a huge issue. When users directly asked Dr. Dennis Gross for their specific 510K clearance number so they could verify the power density and safety data themselves, customer service reportedly refused. They bizarrely claimed it was proprietary information, which is wild considering these numbers are meant to be public record. In stark contrast, users successfully located Shark's 510K clearance right on the FDA database. It's listed as K242796, finalized in November 2024. Now, we aren't taking any sides here at all, but the data clearly shows there is a rising, massive consumer demand for absolute regulatory transparency. People want to know exactly what they're buying.
However, we have to note that clearance does not mean zero risk. According to a direct quote from the FDA's MAUDE database, which is a system that tracks adverse medical device events, a severe incident was reported in February 2025 specifically regarding the Shark CryoGlow. A consumer had a severe reaction where their eyelids became incredibly irritated, swelled up, and ultimately started to crack and bleed, which ended up requiring prescription steroid cream. While this definitely appears to be an isolated and extreme case, it is a really stark objective reminder that these are powerful medical tools. They carry real risks, especially for anyone with highly sensitive skin or underlying conditions.
Section 5. The Final Verdict. Hype or Reality?
All right, we've looked at the science, the impressive technical specs, those grating real-world usability quirks, and of course, the serious safety and regulatory data. So what's the final verdict on the viral Shark CryoGlow? Honestly, it really comes down to your personal lifestyle and what you actually need. You should probably consider buying it if you prefer to sit upright while doing your skincare, if you struggle with daily breakouts, and if you just want one single tool that effectively tackles anti-aging, acne, and cooling relief all at once. On the other hand, you should absolutely skip this device if your goal is to lie back and zen out during your routine, if you are easily irritated by loud fan noises, or, and this is crucial, if you have highly sensitive skin around your eyes, right where that heavy plastic and those cooling pads sit. Ultimately, it's a device of trade-offs, right? It genuinely delivers on its technological promises, but it does so at the absolute cost of that relaxing spa-like experience so many of us want from our skincare. So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. Would you sacrifice physical comfort and a quiet environment just to have integrated under-eye cooling in your LED routine? Keep that in mind the next time this glowing mask pops up on your feed. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.